All right. It is the first Wednesday of September. It is the last one for third quarter. We've got a lot to accomplish and go over. And so I guess just let's get started, right? So I dropped the Zoom link in the chat on YouTube in case anybody wants to jump in to Zoom and ask questions on camera. If not, you can ask questions in the YouTube chat. Just so you know, it takes up too much bandwidth when I try to have all the different places open. So if you would like to ask questions during the live, then drop them in the chat on YouTube or join me live on Zoom, and we will get those questions answered. Otherwise, if you leave questions in the other places that it is going live, then I will get those. I will go check all those after this is done and make sure to get your questions answered then. So we've got 4 people over here, or 6 people watching, 4 people in the chat. Jamie, hello. Kimmery, hi. Renee, we got Mommy Hasn't Showered in the house. And Dawn is back with us. Hello, hello, hello. So glad to have you guys here. If you have any questions to begin with, we will go over those questions. If not, I thought that I can't really show you my screen while I'm doing it because of the details, but I thought maybe I would just do my August bookkeeping and kind of talk you guys through what it is that I'm doing while I'm doing it. And then, you know, maybe that will spark some questions. Maybe that will spark some easier ways for you guys to handle your stuff. So let me know if you have any questions. I will keep an eye on the chat as well. I will make this screen smaller so that I can, so I'm gonna utilize all of my screens. I won't be looking directly at you, I guess, but that's okay. I will be paying attention, I promise. Let me get, where is the stupid, come on. Ah, there it is. All right, so we got that. All right, so Jamie has a question. Can you give a brief overview of how to calculate and use mileage on your taxes? Sure. What I will do is show you a blank copy. Well, actually, I don't have to show you blank copy. I can show you the mileage on my copy. Just so you know, most of my mileage anymore, I don't have to go to the store and go thrifting. So most of my mileage is more local. Oh, we got Yahira is joining. I'll let her get in, and then I will finish the question. Yahira, hi, welcome. Glad to have you. Jamie on YouTube has a question, so I'm going to answer his question first, and then if you have anything, we'll go there. So mileage. Let me share my screen. And fix this. All right. Try and keep this going straight. So mileage. So the way that I do it is I have this spreadsheet and I use my receipts as ways of keeping track of my mileage. And what I do is if I don't know exactly what the miles are, I use Google Maps and I just do the trip that I took based on my receipts to get to the furthest place and home. Then I put the round trip miles in on my spreadsheet, and where I went. So on this particular day, it was the post office and Walmart. It's a weekly trip. It happens, you know, and so it's the same miles every week. So if you have a trip that you do every week, then it makes it super easy to know what your miles are and just plug them in. As far as, so you have to have a written record. It literally asks on the tax form if your record is written. So just in case you ever do get audited, you must have that, and it's a whole lot easier to just keep up with it as you go than it is to try and figure it out later on. So it's one of the steps that I suggest that you do at least on a monthly basis, if not a weekly basis. Because if you drive a lot, if you are sourcing every day, then unless your route is like exactly the same every day, then I would suggest that you keep it, you know, keep up with it on a weekly basis. If it's the same every week, then you can literally just copy and paste it down your spreadsheet. And then just make your changes whenever you need to make changes. You also need to have your odometer reading for the beginning of the year and your odometer reading for the end of the year. And anything that is, so if you take, say you had 10,000 miles and 8,000 miles you have accounted for business. So there's 2,000 miles left over for personal. Okay. So the 8,000 miles for business is then going to get calculated with the amount of the mileage amount per mile. Let me go grab the current workbook. Come on. Cooperate. Thank you. Okay. So now I can. Yes, the template that I use for mileage, that counts for the IRS. It does. I wouldn't, everything that I have in the workbook, you can use for your bookkeeping, you can use to give to the IRS if you needed to. You never give them more than they ask for. So if they were to ask for your mileage, you would just print off just the mileage section. If they wanted the actual written amount. Yeah, whatever. Got an offer and had to, you know, take care of that. So let's see. Go back to sharing my screen. All right, so this is my workbook. So at the front of the workbook, you've got the yearly changes page. It has all of the accounts that are on the taxes, and there is the mileage rate. So for 2023, it is 65.5 cents per mile. So what happens is you over here on this page, it gets calculated. So you have your mileage in, and then it calculates how much business miles were, and then it will calculate how much that is based on the mileage rate for the year. And you'll be able to see that each month as you go along with a gross total, your expenses. I apologize. My noisy puppy. So, so it will calculate and show you during the year, it'll already calculate it out on in the workbook. So Jamie says, I was using my receipts as written proof. Will that work? No. The receipts by themselves will not work. The receipts by themselves only work for your expenses. It will not work for the miles. You need to have it written some way, whether it's by hand or using a spreadsheet, that shows that you went to the places that are on the receipts and how many miles the places were. But it needs to be calculated. So you might as well just go ahead and put it into some way that you can get a running total, because you're going to have the total miles driven for the car and the total miles driven for business. You're welcome. All right. So stop sharing. Oh, good. So Yahira's in our Zoom here, and her mileage was about, her question was also about mileage. So that worked out really well. East Coast Poker says, I have business advertising on my vehicles. Should I still keep a detailed breakdown of every trip? So because you have advertising on your vehicle, you have the ability to take at least most of 100% of your mileage, depending on whether you have another vehicle or not. So if you have more than one vehicle that you have access to, then you can say that 100% is business, and you could do your mileage, your odometer, plus and minus. If any of that could possibly be personal, then I would still keep the breakdown. And I mean, detailed, it's not super detailed by having your lump sum miles and your, XYZ that you went to. So hopefully that will help. If you have two vehicles, if you don't have two vehicles, then I would not recommend you trying to claim 100% miles, even if you follow very, very closely exactly what I tell you about making sure that you do all of your personal trips while you're out for business, because stuff happens and they're just not gonna buy it if you only have one vehicle. So just don't raise red flags unnecessarily. But 90%, sure, I could buy that. If the vehicle is in the name of the business, if you bought it strictly for the business, then absolutely just use your odometer. East Coast Poker says, I'll just stop being lazy. Perfect. Yahira is in Zoom, says, what about meals? I do travel more than an hour for sourcing. Can I add my meals as expenses? So here's how I explain it. When you go on the IRS website and you look up what the code says, it does not specify a number of miles. Okay, so it leaves a lot to be considered. So the way that I look at it is, if you are in a highly traffic polluted area, then you might only go a few miles from your house. And because it takes so long for you to get there, it makes sense that you are going to, you know, be traveling a shorter distance, but you're going to be taking your miles. I mean, you're going to be eating while you're out. If you're like me, where I've got a couple of thrift stores around, but if I really want to go to the thrift store, it's 62 miles one way. I'm going to be eating lunch while I'm out there because I'm going to make the most of that day. I'm going to take the whole day. I'm going to leave early. I'm going to get up there. I'm going to do my shopping. I'm going to grab lunch. I'm going to hit more stores. So you have to decide whether it's reasonable for you based on your location. And you know, it's back to the story. Can you tell a convincing story of the who, the why, the what, the where, and the when, and the how on the reason that you take this number of miles? And the reason that you take your, you know, meals. Otherwise, if you were traveling overnight, super easy, no brainer. If you are traveling and maybe it's a mixture of work and business, then you can take all of your miles there and back, and you can take your meals on your travel days, and you can take your meals and your lodging on, you can take your lodging on your travel days, and then you can take your meals and your lodging and your miles on the days that you work when you are at whatever XYZ location. All right, so Green Eyed Moose says, is getting the updated workbook this year going to be different because you had mentioned not being on Gumroad anymore? I am currently still on Gumroad. I do have plans for third quarter changing some things, but I will probably stay on Gumroad for the rest of this year, and make sure that I'm able to get up with everybody as things get changed over. But the workbook isn't going to change between now and the end of the year. I changed it early in the year, and I'm actually really happy with where it is right now. So I don't think that I'm actually going to be making any changes unless the IRS makes a change, other than changing dates and adding in mileage when we get the new numbers and any new categories. If the IRS comes up or changes any of the categories, then I would add those as well. I may though add some more reserved for future use spots, because like other miscellaneous expenses, those can always be just typed in. Like you guys can just type those in if you have one, or if there's something different in your business that you need to do. Like if you wanted to take, if you wanted to keep track of your owner's draws, then you could do that way. You just need to remember to add them back into your gross, because it's not an actual expense. So I hope that answered your question. All right. So, like I said, this is it's September. We've got 1 quarter left. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. If you're here still, then I have a brand new Facebook group. I hope that you all will come join me on there. It is Facebook/groups/Saw Cheryl. So join me in there, and it will have, I'll have free stuff in there for you. And then I'm working on a budgeting course. It's going to be a free group budgeting course. It will probably go across a week, and I will let you guys know when that is going to happen. It will be open to everyone for that week, and then you will have to be in the group in order to be able to see the videos or get access to the budget sheet after that week. But I'm working on it right now. I want to make sure that I have the outline together so that I cover the steps in small enough ways for everyone that, you know, being it in a group setting and not one-on-one. I want to make sure that you guys have solid instructions that you can follow after we get off the live. So you'll be able to have a printout, and then you'll be able to ask questions during the live, and then you'll come back the next day with each consecutive piece of the puzzle, so that we get down to you having a solid budget to work with. And maybe even cut out some unnecessary expenses. I have found that a lot of people have forgotten completely about, man, I forgot all I had that. I forgot that I was paying that. Because when we do the budget class, it's going to be about personal and business. So it should be able to cover everybody. So if you don't do the personal side in your household, then you'll still be able to follow along to do the business stuff. But if you do both sides in your household, then you'll be able to get everything together so that you can make the best use of your money. All right. That being said, we are 22 minutes in. Oh, and one more thing. I'm not going to be doing all of the lives here on YouTube anymore, because I've got the group. I want to make sure that I give the people that are in the group the best use of my time. So I will always do this one live on YouTube for everyone, because I think that it is the key to your bookkeeping consistency. So I want to make sure that I am available to anyone and everyone that happens to find me, to have this date, this bookkeeping date, and get your stuff done every month. There's zero excuses. Because I do this, you have zero excuses to not have your bookkeeping up to date. Green Eyed Moose says, inflation has definitely cut all of my unnecessary expenses. I hear you. So that being said, I will do this one the first Wednesday of the month. I already have plans to do a one for the group only on the third Wednesday of the month. Jamie says, make sure to click the thumbs up, please. Yes, please. Thank you. I just realized when we came on here that I'm up to 705 subscribers. Yay! So like, share, and subscribe. And I'm really hoping to get to the 1,000. I still have a long way to go for the 4,000 hours, but with your help, 1 minute at a time, we'll get there. Okay, so who has done their bookkeeping already? If you have not, I am getting ready to do mine. You won't see my screen, but you will be able to ask me questions as I'm going through it. So I am going to open, oh, shoot. All right, let me get, I just closed all those tabs I had open. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I have my workbook up, and I go to my expenses tab. And now I'm going to go to my bank account and sign in. And that takes just a second. So let's see. It's 12:26. So we're going to say that started at 12:25. We're going to see exactly how long it takes me to do this. And I'm walking you through it. So now I go to my business account because I have several accounts in here. So I go to my business account and I am looking for my state here, transaction, download transaction history. And I want to do it within a date range. And I'm going to choose August 1st to August 31st. And I want all of the ACH debit, check, and point of sale transactions. Then I'm going to click comma, file type is going to be comma separated values. So it's going to be a CSV file, and download. All right, so that is downloaded and I have that open. All you have to do when you have this file open is you double click the between the A and the B, there's a little line in Excel. If you double click that, it will open that up to the widest for that column. So I'm going to select all of the date, and I'm going to copy that over into my date range in my workbook. And then I'm going to go back into the CSV file. I'm going to select all of the debits and then go back over to my amount, paste that into the amount in my workbook. So it's super easy. All you have to do is Control C and Control V. Control C after you've selected will copy, Control V will paste. You click the box you want to paste and it will paste everything. And then I will click the description. And I will paste the description under vendor. Now all I have to do is go back and select my categories for each of the transactions. So I have 46 transactions. So let's see, we got a continuing education, we got a utility, let's see, we've got gas because I don't do because the vehicle that I use I rent. Then let's see, we've got supplies, we've got another utilities, subscription, supplies, I'm just gonna copy some of this stuff and paste it down. Do-do. Do-do. My goodness, Amazon. This is inventory. Inventory, inventory, inventory. Travel meals. Travel meals. We do. I hope if I open this page up now. Make sure that. So you hear it says, is leasing considered renting a vehicle? So my business rents this vehicle. So it's the truck that my husband owns, and my business rents the truck from him. Then if we want to go somewhere personal, we use his car. I actually, when we bought the truck, I got rid of my vehicle, so I don't actually own a vehicle right now. But we have a rental business with the truck and the camper. I'm just the only customer. Let's see, we got car and trunk, utilities, supplies, supplies. So inventory. Travel meals. Travel meals. Inventory. Subscription. Supplies. Yep. Supplies. Inventory. Utilities. And subscription. So what do I have left? Let's see. This one is that, and then this one. Subscription. Lodging. Meals. This one is legal and professional services. Oh no, that one is actually cost of goods, other costs. All right, so that's that. So I just finished putting in the expenses. My total snapshot. I keep up with I keep up with my gross income through my eBay number tracking. Speaking of which, okay, so equals that isn't working on my sheet, so that's okay. Sold sales. Okay, so then oh, that's why. All right, so my eBay stuff is already in. I do have to go grab my different ones for Gumroad and PayPal and things like that. But all I have left to do now is go grab those, go grab my gross receipts for those. And then my mileage is in already. My expenses are in. So everything is in and done. I've really got 5 minutes left. It's just a lot of different things to calculate. So what, 12 minutes as of right now, another 3 or 4 minutes to go get those other numbers, and 15 minutes, under 20 minutes. Proof that you can do your bookkeeping once a month in under an hour. All right, so thank you guys for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. What else? What else can I answer for you? If you are currently working on your bookkeeping and you've got me muted, that's okay too. Oh, I do want to address, has anyone not gotten their taxes done because you are running out of time? You have just over a month to get them done and get them in. And if you need my help with it, you need to get on my book sooner rather than later, because the closer we get to the 15th of October, the less time I'm going to have to help out. Don asked if I just do it once a month. Yep. Now, because I get shipments in for my inventory, and I'm not going to the store, I actually put that in because it's generally 1 to 2 shipments a month. I generally put those in at the time because well, I don't put them into expenses. I put them into my cost of goods calculator at the time. My expenses, they just got put into my expenses just now for August. But I do put them in my cost of goods calculator once a month. I do my eBay number tracking at least once a week. Usually on Mondays, I'll do my eBay number tracking for the previous week. My home office expense calculator, I generally will do that once a month or every couple of months based on my bills. Most of my bills are pretty much the same. So I'm able to just, and I have I use my budget sheet, so I just copy those numbers over. Because once I update my budget sheet, I can just put the numbers over into my home office expense calculator. We'll go over that during the budget course, but I put in a basic amount in my budget sheet, and then I change it when the actual bill comes out if it's different. like water bill and your electric bill fluctuate unless you're on a payment plan. Yahira says she has more questions about, I guess, the renting of the vehicle, but she will write them down for our monthly meeting. I do monthly I do one-to-ones. I do have a few clients that hold a monthly meeting with me. If that is something that interests you, reach out, let me know. If you decide to do such a thing and you reach out before my announcement, the end of September, early October, then you will get grandfathered in on the pricing, the current pricing. But I've got big plans coming for you guys, and I really want to remove all the anxiety and just be here to help you guys stay accountable and consistent and have a firm grasp on your numbers, because without that, you can be consistent in all the rest of your business. But if you let the finance part go, if you let your bookkeeping go, you're gonna have problems. Yesterday, during the call yesterday, it was said that there was someone that was on TikTok, I believe, and the person was taking items in place and for payment to do work, to do videos, and she didn't calculate her stuff properly, and she ended up owing a lot of taxes. One of the reasons why I'm doing things the way that I'm doing things is because I don't want anyone to feel like claiming income in some way is a negative thing. I want you to claim all your income, because the more income you can claim, the more things we'll find to write off. Now, that might end up being more of a one-to-one conversation, but if you go back to the story and being able to create a story around your expense, you should be good. It should be solid. All you need to do is answer all the questions. So if you needed to go buy this stapler and it didn't make sense generally for your business, you need to write a story around, or think of a story around why it does make sense for your business. The who, the why, the what, the where, the when, and the how. And it all has to go into making profit for your business. So I'm being a little tongue-tied today for some reason, but the gist is, if you can explain it, then they can't fight you on it. If it's in the pursuit of income, if this means that you're going to be able to take care of your finances and, keep things organized in order to process your receipts and process your invoices and keep track of your orders, then it's in the pursuit of income. So you get to write it off. I thought I saw another question that I didn't answer. Maybe not. I guess not. My workbook, if you bought it as an expense, you never have to pay for that again. All the updates are free. Working with me is an expense that you can write off. What else? Oh, travel. You know, travel doesn't have to be all business or all pleasure. You know, you can mix it up and you can do both, and you can get write-offs doing that. I do have some people that I'm going to be bringing, whether they come on with Renee and I on Tuesdays, or whether I have special lives where I bring them on. I have some people, if you are looking for other ways of producing income, then I've got some really solid people to bring on to introduce you to for interviews. And one of them is, she's a VA, but she's not only a VA, she teaches people to be a VA. And I just went through most of her challenge course and was able to pick up things for myself that will help me with my business, or help me to understand what I need to do before I look for a VA to hire, and what I need to look for in a VA to hire. So I'm really excited about bringing Lynn on and sharing her expertise with you guys. I will be sure to make sure everyone knows when that's going to be, and whether it's going to be with Renee and I, or whether it will be a separate video. For those of you that are not interested in YouTube, but you would like to have another outlet, I did not realize that blogging is the thing that it is. And I have a group that I am a part of, and another lady that I'm going to bring on that teaches you how to blog. And apparently it is quite the moneymaker. What I have realized is that I keep telling you guys that YouTube is the ultimate tax hack, except now that I know about blogging and that it is still a real thing and that people are making bank by doing it, it's made me think about expenses associated with that. And it's no different than YouTube. So you don't have to do video. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to do any of that. You can write it out. You can ask AI to help you with that. And I can help you with the write-offs. So if you are looking for another revenue stream, then that might be a consideration for you. That is not YouTube, but could do just as much for you. And I'm super excited about it because I am delving into it for my accounting business. And I'm starting out by writing blogs or blog posts for frequently asked questions. So that's where I'm starting. And if you guys have any specific things that you would like me to address, please reach out with those questions so that I can get those into a blog, my a blog post. Still working on the terminology. I'm trying to get 50 written by the end of September. So that's a lot. It's a lot to accomplish. But like everything, consistency is key. So whether you are on eBay or Poshmark, or you're a YouTuber, or you are you have some other completely separate business, whatever it is, consistency is key. And without that, you're just not gonna be as successful as you could be. I'm not saying that you won't manage. I mean, I've managed with the ADHD and everything, and not being consistent, and the ups and the downs. I've managed. I've still made money, but I'm not where I could have been had I been more consistent when I first started. I have seen what consistency does firsthand, and it doesn't matter which area of life you are talking about, whether it is your business, whether it's eating, whether it's working out, Dawn, whether it's drinking water. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, it could be, just living life, having a good time every day. You need to be consistent in all of those things. And I don't mean to do it all at once. Pick one thing, get consistent with that one thing. When you are truly solidly consistent and nothing can break that consistency, then add another thing, but not beforehand. All right, well, that's my soapbox for today. I will be back next Tuesday with Renee right here and all the places. I will check for questions in the other locations. And if you guys have any questions, reach out. Make sure you join in the Facebook group if you haven't already. I look forward to seeing y'all's faces there. And let me know if this helped, if you got your bookkeeping done. Because that's the whole key for this one. Just to make sure you got your bookkeeping done. We have this month, we'll end third quarter. If you are on eBay and you have a store, don't forget to use your coupon. If you are in the Reseller Nirvana group, I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I guess that's it. I'll be back to do open office Q&A time for group members only on the third Wednesday at noon Eastern. So I think that's all the housekeeping. And I don't see any more questions. Yahira, thanks for joining me in Zoom. And Dawn, Jamie, East Coast Poker, Green Eyed Moose, Kimmery. Did I miss anybody? Renee with Mommy Hasn't Showered. If you have a YouTube, drop your link in the chat. If you have a blog post, drop your link in the chat. If you have a if you have anything that you are willing to share with the rest of us, feel free to drop your links in the chat. I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration, and I want us all to be able to work together. So you may have something that I need and vice versa. So drop your links, reach out. I look forward to seeing you guys in the group and around. Oh, and then Yahira says, tell Renee I got my fancy glasses from a TikTok. Awesome. Can't wait to see that. Yahira, drop your run over to the YouTube and drop your TikTok link so that we can follow you on TikTok. Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. See you next time.